Today I'm going to show you how to make a low-carb bread alternative. Hey again, guys. Today I'm going to show you how to make an easy low-carb bread alternative that is so good. We've made it a couple of times now and absolutely love it. So if you're trying to eat low-carb or keto, this is an easy, quick recipe that you can make. I've already measured out our ingredients. Let's take a look at what we're going to use. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of coconut flour, 1 tablespoon of melted butter, which I will be melting that in a bit, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of full-fat cream cheese, which is here. I'm going to melt that with the butter to kind of get it softened. ½ teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon, it calls for grated Parmesan. I have shredded, so I'm going to use that. A pinch of Himalayan salt, which I already have in there. And then any extra seasonings that you want to add. I am going to add some Italian seasoning and some garlic powder just to give it a little bit of season. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to melt our butter, and I'm going to soften the cream cheese all at once. So let's put this up in the microwave. I'm just going to start with 20 seconds. And as that is melting, I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients to our bowl. So we're going to add our baking soda, coconut flour, and our Himalayan pink salt. I've got my 1 egg and my 1 tablespoon of Parmesan, which is not going to fit perfectly in there, but that's okay. I'm going to add just a little bit of Italian seasoning, not a whole lot, and a little bit of garlic powder. Now our microwave's done. Let's check our butter and cream cheese, see how that looks. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take the cream cheese out because that's softened enough. I'm going to add that in here. I'm going to stick the butter back in the microwave for just a couple more seconds. Let's do 5 seconds. Now, the thing about this recipe to keep in mind, what I'm making is 1 serving. So if you want more than 1 sandwich, which like in the case of Jason and I, we want 2, 1 for each of us. So you would have to do this twice. Not quite melted yet. Let's do a little longer. Let's do 10 seconds. While that's melting, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing up my other ingredients here. There we go. Good and melted. So we're just going to pour that in. Now we're just going to mix this till it's a nice consistency. Get it kind of well blended. The first time I made this, I made it in a paper bowl, and which worked fine, but it kind of made it uneven. So what I did is I went to the 99-cent store and I found just like a soup mug, and this works perfectly. It gives you the perfect size for the sandwich. All right, so that looks pretty good and smooth. I'm going to grab my spatula here. And now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to pour this into our mug. Now before I do that, I'm going to spray the mug with a little bit of coconut oil spray just to help keep it from sticking. We'll take our spatula, and really you could mix this in the mug, which really I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't think of that, just to save on dishes. We'll have to remember that next time. That looks good. Now what I'm going to do, if you look in here, it's not even, so I'm just going to kind of shake that around until my batter is nice and even in the cup. Now that we have our batter all nice and done, we're going to microwave this for 90 seconds or until the top of the mixture is firm. So we're going to do a minute and a half. Let that cook. The first time I made this, I didn't toast it. The second time I made it, I did toast it. And to me, it was good both ways, but I really liked the toasted version better. It gives it a little bit more firmness. What did you think, babe?
Oh, I like the toasted.
The toasted,
too,
yeah. With this sandwich, the first time I made it, I made egg sandwiches. I just added egg and cheese. The second time I made it with just a regular sandwich, you know, with some lunch meat, cheese, lettuce. The sky is the limit, guys, on this. You can put whatever you want in it as a sandwich. You could probably even do it like a kind of garlic bread, you know, add some butter and some garlic salt to it. That would be really good. So the possibilities are limitless. All right, our 90 seconds is up, so let's take a look. And you want to be careful because if you're using a glass mug, it probably will be hot, so make sure you use a pot holder or something when you're pulling that out. Now have a look at that. It's still a little moist right in the middle, so I'm just going to microwave it for another 10 seconds. All right, let's check that. There we go. So that's pretty nice and firm on the top. That's how you want it. Now the easiest way to get this out of the mug is we're just going to flip the mug over on top of a paper plate. And there we go. It comes right out. Since we need two, I'm going to go ahead and mix up another one while this is cooling. You're going to want it to cool a little bit because what we're going to do is we're going to slice this in half, and that's going to give us our 2 halves for our sandwich. All right, guys, the first serving I did is nice and cooled off. So we're going to take a knife and we're just going to cut this right in half. And you want to be careful. I mean, it's not going to be perfectly even, but that's okay. Tastes the same either way. Now you see we have 2 halves. I've put some butter in the skillet here to warm up. We are going to toast both sides of this. I will say the first 2 times I've made it, I made this with almond flour, which you can do almond flour or coconut flour. This is the first time making it with coconut flour. Now I do notice with the coconut flour it didn't get as thick as with the almond flour, but that's probably because with the almond flour you use 3 tablespoons versus 1 tablespoon of coconut flour. As always, I will link the recipe I'm using down in the description box below, so make sure to check that out if you would like the full recipe. These are nice and toasted, so we're going to go ahead and remove these out of the pan. And there we go. We have our low-carb bread alternative for sandwiches. Again, the sky is the limit of what you can put on these. I just wanted to show you really quickly how to make the bread because y'all can put whatever you want in it. I hope you liked this video. If you're going to give it a try, or if you do try it, come back and let me know. Remember, check the description box for the recipe. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys as always for watching and subscribing, and until our next video, peace, love, and expediting.